There's a film from 1963 called Rampage, starring the legendary Robert Mitchum as a game trapper. In the story, Mitchum's character is sent to the Malay jungles to catch a rare breed of big cat, rumored to be a hybrid of a leopard and tiger. Even though the film is fictitious, did such hybrids exist in the jungles of South Asia? Legend has it that a fearful group of leopards once roamed this area. The legend of these leopards transpired near the vicinity of Kumana National Park. Centuries ago, a group of native people known as Vedas attempted to reenact a ceremony dedicated to a powerful god. In doing so, they hunted wild boar and used their fat to light the ceremonial lamps. The angered god then unleashed the fearful killer leopards of Lenema. These leopards destroyed most of the Veda people. However, some of them managed to escape by climbing atop a rock. Yet the leopards made their way to the top and killed all but one. To find out more, we talked to Pradeep Jayatunga, the author of the book, The Leopards of Lenema.
Hugh Neville is the one who first recorded this legend, Lenema leopards. There are two separate legends of nnature and Lenema leopards, but the more prevalent legend is about using pig's oil to light the torches for the ceremony, and that angered the gods.
Certain local people claim to have seen the legendary Lenema leopards, including Venerable Anandasiri Tero. He lived here in the Kudumbigala Monastery. In his posthumous memoir, the monk claimed that many individuals in the monastery saw the Lenema leopards, including himself. Supposedly, the leopards were much larger than normal leopards and were never scared at the sight of humans. What he saw here would forever be shrouded in mystery.
Venerable Anandasiri, Tabugala Anandasiri, who spent about 25 years in the area, and he was quite an observant character. He used to write, contribute articles to the journal at that time published by the wildlife department. He said that the face was fully fleshed and roundish, and the growl was much deeper, and most interestingly, that the Lenema leopard had stripes down its neck, either side of the neck.
But like all leopards, Sri Lankan leopards do not have stripes, but are uniquely spotted. They are quite wary of humans, unlike the fabled killer leopards of Lenema. Sri Lanka had rare cases of man-eaters in the past, including this leopard, which killed around 12 people back in 1924. Since the Lenema leopards killed people according to the legend long before the 1920s, they would actually be the first recorded man-eaters of Sri Lanka.
The word recorded is a bit of a problem because it's a legend. Now, Poonani and Komariya recorded properly. And then before that as well, I think in 1850s, Tennant records instance of man-eating somewhere in the southern province. And also there would have been, it's very, very likely that leopards would have been attacking people in the jungle villages. In that sense, Komari, Poonani, and if Lenema is true, yes, those are the three instances of true man-eating in Sri Lanka by leopards.
In this cave complex near Kumana, there's a drawing that supposedly shows what appears to be a leopard attacking a man. The locals associate it with the fearful Lenema leopards. If such leopards existed, how did they come about? In the 1800s, British politician Emerson Tennant mentioned the presence of a Bengal tiger in Sri Lanka.
1850s, I believe. that tiger used to be spotted by the hunters who used to go for hunting in jungles in the vicinity of Trincomalee. So he said that this is one of the tigers which had escaped from a shipwreck. So the ships used to transport these animals, sometimes from India to Trincomalee, and then from there to be shipped to maybe Europe. So there's a record of one escaping and living in the jungle for a while.
But even if the tiger did breed with local leopards, it's not scientifically proven that they are able to provide viable offspring.
It really is not a theory as such. It's mere speculation. That is only because of the stripes. So the stripes would show some features of a tiger. The hybrids of the pantheras are possible. That is, lion and tiger interbreed. That's they made ligos or tigons. And some of them, very rarely, those hybrids are fertile themselves. But the leopard and tiger, it's very rare, and no live offspring have come. The dead cubs which were born to, in one instance, used to have spots, rosettes, as well as stripes.
In 1900, a merchant of wild animals was attempting to cross a female leopard with a Bengal tiger. The offspring was stillborn. But interestingly, it had a combination of spots and stripes.
They say that sometimes very large male leopard breed with tigresses in India, and something called a dogla is born. That's also a legend.
The coat of the animal in the film Rampage also displays a strange purplish hue in this scene. Even though the story is fictitious, there have been reported cases of leopard-tiger hybrids in the wild. In the early 1900s, in the jungles of India, F.C. Hicks, a deputy conservator, mentions a sighting of a dogla in his book. He writes that the animal had a head of a leopard and the striped shoulders and body of a tiger. He clarified that it was a very old male hybrid. The question arises, was the striped animal Anandasiri Tero saw in Sri Lanka also a hybrid?
Venerable Anandasiri, of course, had seen the leopard several times. Once he had been accompanied by a monk, and that monk had got frightened, saying that this is not a leopard but a tiger.
In 1977, at an England zoo, a black leopard successfully bred with a tigress in captivity. The offspring was called a pantig, which is a combination of panther and tiger. As the cub grew older, allegedly its appearance matched what was mentioned earlier by Hicks in India. Yet after the picture was published in 1978, nothing was ever documented about it. Adding further confusion to the topic, British civil servant Hugh Neville mentioned an unspotted leopard he encountered in Trincomalee.
I think it's more likely that this is an aberration or a mutation of skin patterns. There's something called abandonism. Abandonism is that when an animal has spots or rosettes or something like that, then it has many more than usual. So they merge and becomes lines, the swirls or stripes. So that is of course quite well documented. They have found leopards like that. So this could be, much more than a hybrid. It's much more likely that it's a mutation of skin pattern.
With the lack of scientific evidence, is it fair to assume that a fearful clan of leopards once roamed this area?
Legend, by definition, has not been proven scientifically. But the legend itself is interesting. So that even on a historical or anthropological perspective, it's interesting. And this abandonism, whether Sri Lankan leopards also have mutated skin patterns. So that's quite interesting whether that can happen in Sri Lanka.
Unless new scientific evidence emerges about these mythical animals, the leopards of Lenema will continue to be a legend, if not a unique species